I do need to tell you a story about why I've been on this like personal branding journey, which is I followed this guy, Arlen, on Instagram. He's a little bit of like a red pill guy, like kind of make like Alex Hermosi, make money a little bit, but he's very, very interesting. And his main platform is Instagram, and he has 50,000 followers on Instagram, which is not that crazy. He has YouTube, but doesn't really use it. It's like pretty much just Instagram. And he sells a course on how to, it's called Tribe Accelerator. He sells a course on how to like improve your social life and make money. So pretty standard red pill course. And but his is a high ticket offering. So he sells it for $5,000, and he sells it primarily through his 50,000 Instagram followers. And he makes like 20 to 30K a month. And it blows my mind. And so I'm watching him do this over and over and over again. And I have a friend who like works for him, and I'm just watching him do it over and over again. And so essentially on his feed, he has stuff like hanging out with other people like Iman Gadzhi, and he's on private jets and all this like luxurious content on his feed. And then on his story, all he talks about is he goes, "I'm Olivia Rodrigo's biggest fan. All you have to do is wake up and be sexy." He goes, "Do you want to know how to make money? Just look in the mirror, be sexy, be the Olivia Rodrigo's #1 fan. I'm a travel hoe." That's what he just says over and over again. And it creates this mystery gap in the audience where people are like, okay, I see on your feed that you're with people I look up to, you're in private jets, you're doing these crazy things. But then on your story, you're talking about being sexy and a travel hoe, and that being Olivia Rodrigo's biggest fan makes you money. And he just sells like this, like this, like this. And it's been the most interesting case study to look at. And so first I'll get your opinion on that, and then I'll elaborate.
No, I mean, that's interesting, like, that you notice the discrepancy between, like, like what he's posting. And, like, I don't know, I'd want to see his account.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, but I wonder if he, like, strategically does all the Olivia Rodrigo stuff.
I think it is strategic. And so I know that was kind of a bad question for you because it's like you haven't seen it. But so let me further on this point. So I have a podcast mentor, Danny Miranda. He's really killing it. He just interviewed Mike Posner. He's going to do Mark Manson soon. He's really like kind of hitting his stride with podcasting. And he was gassing up Twitter to me. He's like, Twitter is the best podcasting platform. He's like, nothing is as good as Twitter. It's where I get the most guests, where I do the best research. So I didn't like ever really use Twitter. So I'm like, how do I start? Because on Instagram, I have a basis. Like, we grew up with Instagram. So I go, how do I start on Twitter? I go, I guess I'll just follow everyone I've done a podcast with. So I've done 60 podcasts. So I go and look for those people on Twitter, and I go through all 60 of my guests, and only 4 of them have Twitter. And then I realized something. This is where my personal branding like breakaway happened, is that I was like, whenever my mom talks to me about her friends, she talks about Facebook. Whenever Danny talks to me about his podcasting, he's 27, he talks to me about Twitter. And then I was like, our holy grail platform. And I guess you could make an argument for TikTok, but in my opinion, it's Instagram. If you like a girl, what are you going to do? You're going to go vet their Instagram. If you have a business partner, what are you going to do? You're going to vet their Instagram. A friend, you're going to vet their Instagram. And then so I had that breakthrough separately, all while I was looking at Arlen's account. And I was like, it just started to hit me that like, Instagram is our generations, our ages, like it's our resume, it's our holy grail platform. And so if you carry like a certain authority on that platform, it's so like powerful. And that's why I'm just like, how I don't care about followers. I don't care like about like some content strategy. I'm like, how do I make like the people who follow me on Instagram care?
And like, even like, there's like, it's weird because like with the whole follower thing, right? You can have like 10,000 followers or you can have 100,000, but like that doesn't dictate how many of them care, you know? Like, it's like this different memorability towards it. That's like super interesting of a question, and I totally agree. Like I feel like Instagram is like such a resume almost, for people our age at least. Like I also just think because you can look people up so effortlessly, like you don't have to know their handle or anything. And you could probably find them based on the fact that you probably have mutuals and you can see who your mutuals are. Like it kind of does connect people in a different way that I really like. So I agree with you about that. But
with Instagram, I know you talk a lot about like as I was looking through your stuff, you talk a lot about that idea of like you can gain a following and have people who don't care about you, and then you also talk about like your niche becoming you. How, just for like people listening and for myself, what is the way to make yourself the niche or to make your followers care about you?
I think those are two different questions. I'll start with the niche, like becoming the niche. The way I think about it is like, first of all, it's all kind of this like own internal mindset. In a way, more so than it is like an external strategy. It's this internal mindset of like realizing like the voice that you hold, like for you, even with Respectfully Inspired and the mission that you have to, and I love that you start the podcast with that, like the mission that you have to like teach people that there's other ways to measure success. That is like something that you care so deeply about, that can become almost part of your niche, more so than a specific traditional niche category of like sports or beauty or like whatever it is. It's really like thinking about yourself as the center of the brand and all of your interests and beliefs. So like things that you like, things you do for fun or like people you hang out with, whatever, all of those being things that you share as tools to attract the right audience towards you, instead of like the box that you put yourself in to attract a certain audience just to attract an audience. That makes sense. Like some people will niche down to sports to get a sports audience. That's great for them if that's their like intention. But if you are like interested in a specific team or something and that's just what you share about sports, but you don't make your entire personality about sports, you'll attract people that are also fans of that account or not account, team. And like that will bring their eyes to your account and they are more likely to resonate with you based on your shared interest in said sports team.